The True Timeline. Cigarette smoke burns my throat as I lie back on the cool cement stoop, shaded from the sun by our deteriorating front porch awning. The nicotine wave washes over me, obliterating my thoughts into a million hazy little pieces that drift away on the late summer breeze. If you breathe in enough of it, tobacco can be a full body high, nearly psychedelic. Every currency eventually fails. Ours is no exception. Abby is lecturing some of the e-girls out on the front lawn. They lounge around in the Somalian afternoon like a chronically online medieval harem. Most girls just show up for their baptism, make a video or two, then get sent home. But when Abby likes someone, she invites them to stay. The backyard is littered with tents where the chosen e-girls sleep. Only Emma and Abby are allowed to sleep upstairs in her apartment. You only have to look at the bond yield curve and the relationship between the Fed's funds rate and the S&P 500 to see that the dollar won't last much longer. I don't know where she comes up with this stuff, but it sounds convincing enough. Emma's back is to me, and I sneak a suspicious glance at her ass, the contours of which are only suggested by the folds of her plaid skirt. They know the dollar is going to collapse, so they are trying to get ahead of it. Abby catches me checking out her loyal second in command and shoots me a death glare. I shrug in feigned innocence, reverting my gaze to the cobwebs above me, billowing gently in the imperceptible air currents. They are going to crash the dollar on purpose, Abby continues. A planned demolition, if you will. They'll release a virus that will spread throughout the entire internet and financial system, rendering them completely useless. You won't be able to buy gas, you won't be able to buy groceries, you won't be able to order Uber Eats. The, the girls gasp at this last one. This is what I mean by the Great Reset. People will starve. The world will go purge mode. There will be chaos in the streets, and just when we're most desperate and afraid, Project Looking Glass will try to jump us into the darkest timeline, the one where they release the CBDC. Abby scans the faces of her assembled acolytes. Emma, what is the CBDC? Central Bank Digital Currency, Emma replies. Very good. And what is the Central Bank Digital Currency? The tool of ultimate control, the girls respond in unison. That's right, and all of this is set up to happen in less than a week, according to Sandra Whitaker. The virus will be released on August 8th at 1:11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. At the mention of the author's name, the e-girls make a lowercase e over their hearts. Sandra Whitaker had become kind of a saint to them. Every member of the cult had a copy of her book, Confessions of a Government Manifester. It had become an overnight bestseller. Attempts had been made to contact the author, but so far they hadn't returned any results. Sonda Whitaker remained elusive. That's 11:11 our time, Abby continues. Project Looking Glass is going to exploit the widespread fear and confusion caused by the collapse of the financial system in order to jump us to the darkest timeline. She pauses for the dramatic effect. But we're not going to let that happen, are we? I have to hand it to her. She certainly has a way with them. You mean the meditation, one of them says? Exactly. The global synchronized masturbation meditation. You see, Abby has this plan. As the reconstructor, I will lead us in a live guided masturbation meditation where everyone watching us around the world comes at the same time in one giant global orgasm. That's when we manifest. Using all that positive energy and post nut clarity, we manifest ourselves back to the true timeline. The e-girls erupt into applause. Can you tell us what it's like? One of them asks. The true timeline? Yeah, it's beautiful, Abby says. I've seen it in my visions. In that world, people saw 9/11 for what it was. They revolted against the government. They went back to the land and found a way to live in harmony with nature. It's all farms and little villages and people dancing naked around bonfires, and we're going there, all of us. My legs are sticking out from underneath the shadow of the awning, absorbing the warmth of the sun. Tiny bugs and specks of dust float and flit above poofs of dandelions that come to seed. I inhale a lungful of delicious poison smoke and close my eyes, allowing Abby's sermon to fade into the background. There's no smoking allowed on the property. My ex's voice rouses me from my fleeting nicotine high. It's in the lease. She's home from work, looking down at me both literally and figuratively. I look up at her, just look up at her, and pull another drag. Ugh. She rolls her eyes and goes inside, slamming the door behind her a little harder than necessary. It had become her signature move. She hated the fact that I was hanging out with these young, esocentric waifs. She hated they drank gas station energy drinks and left empty cans in the yard. She hated they didn't give a shit about their health. But most of all, she hated that she was losing control of me.